Good morning, Emma. Thanks for joining us today on People on Work. My first question to you is, what do you like about your work?
Oh, thank you for having me. I just firstly to say my name's Emma and I'm a lawyer. I'm originally a New Zealander. I lived in the UK for a long time and I'm currently living in Amsterdam because I moved here for a job, which has recently finished. And now I'm running my own consultancy. But what do I like about being a lawyer? First of all, it's going to sound super nerdy. It's very intellectually challenging. Which is really fun and often surrounded by very clever people, which keeps it very, very fresh. I also think one of the things that no one explained to me about law is that I was going to have to keep learning about different industries, different types of deals, different commercial contracts, and that's kept it super fresh throughout my career. And I think the third thing, I work in media and there's an awful lot of laughter in television and meetings and things. And that's really been quite a joy and meant that it hasn't been dry or boring. Although, some people would expect that from a lawyer.
Excellent, excellent. Then my next question to you is, how did you first start out?
Right. So it was interesting when we were having the chat before we started this about our career advice when we were young. And I'm in my 50s, so that was a while ago. There wasn't a lot of advice around what one could do. So I thought being a lawyer might be good. I hated law school, though. I dropped out in the middle, which everyone gets very shocked by. I did go back, but luckily for me, during that year where I dropped out of law school, I went and worked in a law firm and realized the practice of law was much more interesting for me than studying it. So I got on and got my degree. And then I worked in Sydney for a while, even though I'm a New Zealander, and then I went to London. But one of the things I did want to say is a lot of people think being a lawyer is like being in a law firm, but there are a lot of lawyers that are based in companies, and that's mostly what I've done. I started off in law firms, but I've really enjoyed being in a company in my various roles, doing deals, managing risk, dealing with the odd crisis. It's really, really suited me. So that's how I got started. But there've been moments where I haven't enjoyed it as much, but one of the things I have done is I worked really hard to make it more creative for myself. And I think that one thing I think we can all, one thing I wish I'd known when I was younger was that you can often shape your job to turn it into something that you really enjoy. Just have to be quite brave about it.
Yeah. What out of interest, what triggered the move from New Zealand first to Australia and then onto the
I don't know. New Zealanders have this thing. We because we're so far away and we're such a little country, we spend our whole time looking out. So I think a lot of us travel. If we're lucky enough, I have to be honest, that is sort of from a place of privilege. But it is just a thing that we have in our DNA, really. And the easy thing is that when you come, there are lots of other people like you. So you'll have met that band of Antipodeans that live in the UK and other places. Yeah.
Excellent. Then lastly, to finish off, then, what would you say to someone looking to start out today?
Well, I think one thing in being a lawyer, a couple of things. Important to get great training and understand that your law degree is just the first step. I certainly walked into a law firm and thought I've now got to learn my craft, and I treated it like that. Secondly, there are lots of different ways to be a lawyer, and it's really worth doing a lot of research around that. Find a really good mentor, like most careers. Find someone to teach you and be open to feedback. It's really hard feedback, but it's even the difficult feedback in my career is the things that really move me forward. Yeah. And the fourth thing I think is get ready for your next step. Whenever I thought that I wanted to do something new, I'd start reading around or doing some research ahead of time. So I'm a total planner, so that does suit me in terms of my temperament. But I do think getting ready for things, not expecting them to come to you, is a really important way to be in your career. And I think also just having fun trying to have as much fun with it as you can.